Blinking, a simple reflex, a brief reset for your eyes. But imagine if that tiny moment of darkness was a chasm in time. With every blink, you leap forward 24 hours, a ghost watching the world decay and rebuild in a flurry of disconnected snapshots. And let's find the answer to the question, what if? In this existence, the very fabric of personal identity and continuous experience would be profoundly shattered, as every perception of now is immediately replaced by a radically different now. Coherent memory formation becomes impossible, leaving individuals with a jumbled collage of isolated flashes. Events would lack a flowing narrative, making learning, understanding cause and effect, or even recalling a simple name from one blink to the next an insurmountable challenge. The constant shock of dislocation would induce perpetual disorientation. Awakening to a new day with every blink means familiar surroundings could be radically altered, people aged or even completely gone, creating a relentless state of anxiety and cognitive overload. Moreover, the phantom of progress would render goals, tasks, or long-term projects utterly meaningless. Any endeavor requiring sustained attention over more than a few moments would be instantly interrupted by days of unseen progress or decay, making any sustained effort feel utterly futile and without purpose. In this reality, individuals become spectral observers, fundamentally unable to truly participate in a world that rushes past them, making genuine interaction and connection an impossible dream. Between blinks, the world deceivingly halts, only to snap forward into a new state. Buildings would seemingly materialize, landscapes transform, and entire generations pass in what subjectively feels like mere moments. Consequently, genuine interaction becomes impossible. A single phrase could span weeks for a reply, rendering relationships, communication, and any shared understanding utterly meaningless. Others are always just out of reach, living unseen lives. Society's intricate dance, from building cities to forming cultures, would be an incomprehensible time-lapse. Individuals would observe rapid evolution or decay, perpetually excluded from collective progress, unable to contribute or comprehend its flow. In this dizzying existence, the most mundane actions transform into terrifying existential leaps. Consider simply moving across a room. Each blink is a leap of faith. What was once a stable floor could, in the unseen passage of a day, become a hazardous construction site, a collapsed ruin, or even an entirely different hostile environment. Navigating becomes an endless, unpredictable gauntlet. Then there's the sheer impossibility of basic survival, eating or drinking. A bite of food might be fresh one moment, then spoiled and inedible after a single blink. A glass of water could be a desert mirage when you next open your eyes. Sustenance and waste management become monumental, often fatal challenges because the environment and resources shift so drastically between conscious moments. Finally, the body itself becomes a traitor. The uncontrollable physiological need to blink, whether to moisten dry eyes or as a simple reflex, is a constant source of profound dread. Every involuntary closing of the eyelids rips you from your current reality, thrusting you into an unknown future, making even your own biology a terrifying agent of the temporal chaos. In a world constantly hurtling forward, conscious beings would desperately scramble for any sliver of stability. The art of the no blink would become an obsessive, exhausting practice. Individuals would resort to extreme measures, from sheer willpower to forcefully keep eyes open, to using artificial lubricants or seeking out pristine, irritant-free environments to delay the inevitable reflex. Beyond this, many might seek temporal sanctuaries, isolated havens like deep caves or hermetically sealed bunkers. Here, the immediate impact of unobserved days might be less perilous, though the depletion of resources remains a silent, ticking threat. Finally, a fascinating evolution of awareness could emerge, where minds learn to extrapolate or even predict the immense changes occurring between blinks, attempting to forge meaning from these fragmented, jarring glimpses of a fast-forwarded existence, thereby challenging fundamental biological and cognitive limits. This existence would utterly strip away human purpose, compelling a radical reevaluation of life's fundamental meaning. The very idea of a personal future or legacy evaporates. Why pursue goals if instantly achieved or obsolete? Relationships, vital for shared history, become impossible, eradicating foundational drives for aspiration and communal contribution. Every moment transforms into an enforced, discontinuous present. Planning is futile as the world rushes forward unobserved. The past is erased, replaced by an immediate, unpredictable leap. This isn't mindfulness, but a brutal surrender to impermanence, reducing existence to unanchored glimpses. memories. Ultimately, without continuous memories, connections, or stable interaction, the definition of a lived life is profoundly questioned. What constitutes sentience or purpose when individual identity itself is fragmented? Can meaning truly persist within such a philosophical void? A day-long blink shatters identity, memory, and connection, making continuous existence impossible. In your opinion, what if every time you blinked, a day passed? Share your thoughts in the comments.